G'day playmates, and welcome to another Hammer vid. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to have an in-depth look at the new Hornet JDAMS, which are basically an iron bomb, 1,000 pounder with a GPS kit fitted. So essentially they're a fire and forget, or rather drop and forget, all-weather munition. The advantage over the Mavericks is that, of course, first of all, you don't need JTAC for lasing because the system is GPS. And secondly, for the heat seeker Mavs, you can use these bombs in inclement weather when you can't see the target. Okay, so this is, we're going to have a look at this in two sections, because the first section is for mission makers, because setting up the coordinates for the mission makers gives them the most accurate results. So the first thing that you need to do as a mission maker is go to the miscellaneous tab, and the coordinate display must be set to military grid. You've probably got it set to latitude and longitude. There's also lat long decimal, but this isn't the most accurate system. This seems, for the present, to be the most accurate system, the military grid. So that's the first thing. Okay, so secondly, I'm going to go into the mission editor, and I'm going to open a JDAM training mission that I ran just recently for ASA 234 Squadron. Okay, and these are the JDAM targets that I set up for the training night. Let's just go to satellite view. So we've got some ships on the lake. We've got a static helicopter there. Got a roadblock here, and we've got some live targets. Got a tank there, so just sort of spread all over the place. Okay, now as you can see here down the bottom, your cursor is now using the military grid system. So as you can see, all this is changing. You need, apart from putting the targets down, you're going to need two external resources, and I'm going to alt tab out to those. Okay, first thing is you will need this resource, and obviously what this does is it converts military grid references to latitude and longitude with decimal places, and it is the decimal places that excuse me, that give the accuracy to the JDAM. If you don't use decimal places, two decimal places, you will find that your bombs will be inaccurate. So this is essentially what you need to do. Oops, sorry, let's go to the wrong. Okay, so let's take this tank on the roadway. If I mouse over that, as you can see at the bottom, it's showing 38 TKM 700 39 92860. So what you need to do to that is basically write altitude that down is 335 feet. Okay, so I've got my first setting, so I'm going to Alt Tab out now, and I'm going to put that into here. 38 T KM 700 39 928 928 61, and then I'm going to hit Calc. Okay, and it's now given us 3 different types of lat long. The one that's important for JDAM DCS is this one here. So these are our lat long coordinates, so you can obviously copy that and paste it into whatever. So it's 42 degrees, 21 minutes, 14.49 seconds for the northing, and 42, 12, 28.29 for the easting. And then of course the last thing that we need is the height conversion, because currently it seems that the JDAMs don't work well using feet, so we have to convert the feet to meters. So it was 335 feet, 335, and that is showing 102 meters. Okay, so essentially we can use that to sort of paste in the information. Okay, so we've now got a decimal lat long for this, and also a height in meters rather than feet. So you've got to do that for all 12. So that's the mission makers part of the equation. Okay, and I'm going to go on our dedicated server, ASA 234, JDAM training. I'm going to join that. Okay, here we are in game. So the first thing to do is I'm going to load the JDAMs up. Just going to make a few slight alterations, and okay, the JDAMs we're going to be using are the GBU31, the 1000 pounders. Those are the only ones that are available, and they come in 2 versions. The V3B is basically for hardened targets like bunkers. So has basically got a penetrative and explosive charge, so we're just going to be using GB31s. I'm only going to put 2 of them on because I'm not going to go through heaps and heaps and end up with, so I'm going to remove the palin and pylon there. I'm going to remove the palin and pylon there. I'm going to take off these. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove that. Okay, so we're nice and light. All right.
Request rearming.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start up now, and when we're up and running, I'll just cutscene this, and we'll go through setting the JDAMs up. Okay. So we're all started up and ready to program the JDAMs. So here's the stores page, and first thing to check is that the mode is PP. You can actually change it to target of opportunity, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use the pinpoint. The second thing is the fuse needs to be set to instantaneous. So that's now come up here. And we're now ready to program our two JDAMs. I'll just step through this and just move this over here. Let me bring the knee board up. Okay, so this is the work that I've prepared as a mission maker for this training exercise. We got 12 targets, and as you can see, I've used that external, let me just zoom out a bit, I've used that external website to convert all my military grid references from the mission map to decimal places. Okay, now apparently from what I can gather, you can't do this in-game because the F10 map is a more inaccurate representation. So I don't know how that's come about, but basically to get the best results for JDAM, you actually have to use the mission map rather than the F10 map. So unfortunately, it basically means that for mission makers, they've got to do this extra work to give their pilots the accuracy that's needed. So anyway, let's get in. So first thing I need to do is to go to the JDAM display and then onto MSN. Okay, now these are the 5 slots where you can input this information, so you can have actually up to 5 targets programmed. At the moment the Hornet can only carry 4 1,000-pounders, so you know, you pretty much be only using maybe 4 of those. Now this is the really important part, and this is where I went wrong when I first started using the JDAMs. When the Hornet drops a JDAM, it cycles to another station. What it doesn't do is it doesn't cycle from one target to the next. This has to be done manually, and that's really important, because essentially what can happen is if you don't manually cycle these, then when you drop the next bomb, it'll simply just go to the same target. So what we're going to do is we're going to program in our first target coordinates in slot PP1, and to do that we're going to go here, we're going to go to target UFC, and we're going to hit position, and the first thing we're going to do is put in the latitude. So we're going to go with target number 1, northing is 42, 21, 14. Okay, now we've still got decimals, but the first thing to do is get the non-decimal numbers entered. We've done that. Nothing's coming up here until we add the decimals after the decimal place, and when we press enter, there it is, 42, 21, 14.23. It's as easy as that. So longitude, easting is 42, 12, 28, enter, 21, enter. Okay, alright, next we've got elevation. We're going to have to come back here and hit this again to go into elevation, and we want to add meters, not feet. Elevation is 102, 102, enter. Alright, so here we've got that information. Next bit of information we now need is to go back here and we go into term, and these are the parameters for dropping the bomb. So first up, I'm going to set the heading. So this is basically the rough heading to the target. Now I found that this doesn't need to be super accurate, which is really good. So heading is going to be around about 45 degrees. I'm going to enter that, and that's just come up there. Next I'm going to enter the angle of attack. Okay, I'm going to be bombing from 12 to 13,000 feet, and my angle of attack will be 90 degrees. In other words, I'm not dive bombing, I'm actually level bombing, so my target will be perpendicular. It'll be 90 degrees under me essentially. So I hope that's clear enough. So the angle of attack is going to be, oh, I've lost that. Let's go back again. Term angle of attack is going to be 90 degrees. There it is there. And then the last parameter is the velocity the velocity that we're going to set the bomb to drop. And from what I've seen from other people's videos, 750 to 700 feet per second is the go. So I'm going to enter that. And okay, so we've now got all our information. We've got the target there. We've got our heading, angle of attack, and 750 feet a second. Okay. Now let's go to the next one, and let's input the information for our second target slot. Okay, latitude north 42 2106, enter, decimal 63, enter, longitude easting 42 12 04, enter, 90, enter decimal, and go back and enter elevation in meters, 96 meters, enter, and then our heading 45 degrees, angle of attack 90 degrees, which is going to be the same from all, velocity 750, enter, and there's our second slot taken up. Alright, that's all we need now. I'm going to get on the catapult and I'm going to get in the air, and we'll start heading towards these targets. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, now I'm in the air. Let's just return back to the stores page. Stores, and we're going to select air to ground, and you can immediately see that we've got a diamond up on the HUD, which is our steerable waypoint. Now, to my knowledge, I mean, you can actually okay, so the diamond's going to be coming up on the HUD soon. Looks like we're getting a few server jitters. It should be okay. Okay, let's just get some height. Now, as you can see, my initial 45 degree heading is a little bit out of kilter. It's we're actually heading 30 degrees, but that's not going to impact on the accuracy. Okay, so this is the important thing. At this moment in time, we've got station number 2 ready, and we're going to use slot 1 for station number 2. Okay, so I just go back to return, as you were, stores. Okay. Okay, now it takes a little bit of alignment time. I think it's around about 10 minutes, but this is showing me that my JDAM is looking good, and instead of giving me distance to target, it's actually giving me time on target. So I'm 5 minutes away from the target, and I'm going to climb to Angels 12 or so. And as you can also see, it's coming up on the HSI as well, target. Alright, I'm going to level out, just ease back on the throttle at Angels 12, and I'm just going to center the carrot up on the heading tape. And I'll go to autopilot, latitude, basic altitude, just to lock that in. Okay, so JDAM station 2 is ready to go, and it's using slot PP1 for its target. 4 minutes to go, so I'm going to cut the vid here and come in once we get a bit closer. Okay, back, and 1 minute 40 seconds out from the target, and what's going to happen is that once the timer drops down to 0, it will give us an in-range cue, and all we do then is just pickle. Round about 20 seconds to the target, we'll get a vertical line in the center of the HUD from the top heading tape. Straighten this up a little bit. Alright, we're under a minute to go. I'm getting ready to pickle, and then I'll go and use F6 to get an external view. Okay, well, 30 seconds out, we've now got, as you can see, the plumb line. Everything's looking good. Yeah. JDAM's good. 10, 8, 3, 2, 1. Okay, in range, pickle, and as I'm dropping the bomb, one wing drops low. Let's have a look at this going in now. And I think target number 1 is a tank, and I think it's that tank that's on the road in the center of the screen. Yes, it is. No, it looks like I'm just out on that. Yep, Okay, I didn't get a hit on that. So I'm going to go to the I'm going on a reciprocal and going for the next target. Okay, so one bomb gone. Here's the second station selected, and I need to select the next target manually. 20 seconds out. Three, two, one. In range. Pickle. Get the autopilot on. And we'll have a look at this one going in. I hope I have slightly better luck with this one. Only just missed the tank, as you can see from the. Yeah, here's the second tank. Yep, definitely took that one out. Yep, okay. All right, folks. So, you know, there you have it. JDAMS. Hope this has been useful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.